and that was Bude. So slightly later start again today, about 10:05, and leaving Bude now. At breakfast I met a group of 3 hikers from Nottingham. They're doing stage walking the southwest coast path, and that's not my main goal, but I must admit I was a little bit jealous of them today. They're going back the way I came yesterday, and it was a really beautiful part of the coast that I was on. But I've got to remember my main goal, which is to get to the north of Scotland. So today I'm going to do a little bit of road walking and follow Bude out here and try and make it to Hartland rather than Clovelly, which seems to be the next port of call for many people from Bude. But that is such a punishing day. It's just a bit too far. I absolutely hammered it yesterday to get from Boscastle to Bude, and just made it in time to get my tent poles. So now I've got that flexibility, which is just great. So not sure there's going to be too much of a video today. I think it's going to be a lot of road walking. But I can assure my wife, who was a little bit concerned when I spoke to her this morning, that I was taking videos in unsafe positions. I know, I'm being very sensible. So day 11 from Lizard and day 8 from Land's End starts here. I found a cheeky little footpath, which is actually going to chop a little corner off for me, which is good news. Still a little bit damp underfoot, despite yesterday's sunshine, but all is good. A bit of a reminder what this is all about. A fundraiser for Glaucoma New Zealand and the wonderful work they do. The volunteers involved with Glaucoma New Zealand, and also for Eye Care for Africa, to help sustainable cataract surgery at cheap costs for a very remote part of Tanzania. Just left a place called Stib, and it's going well today. Just turned left onto quite a small country lane, and further down here there's what looks like a track, which would actually be a gem if it's not overgrown. So I'm going to check that out, see if I can chop off a bit of quite a long corner. Now this is the public footpath, and if this works out, it's going to be a gem of a find. And so far it's promising. Normally you hit overgrown stuff, and it looks like this vehicle's been on here, so I'm hopeful. This could have a whole chunk. I'm going to follow this for a little while and see how we go. Living life to the edge, hey? Bit muddy. There's another hiker ahead. I'm absolutely in the middle of nowhere. How cool is that? So I was going to say before I bumped into the hiker that I very quickly turned back on the public footpath before it was well overgrown, and it probably would have been just as long in terms of time. So I had a good chat with that hiker guy. He's a local guy called Mike, and he's just out for a little wander today. And he tells me that I've just crossed over after there's a little bridge after I said goodbye to him, and that bridge pretty much notified the difference between Cornwall and Devon. So Cornwall, it's been a blast. Learned so much in the last week and a half, especially from Mike and Mark. But here we go into Devon. Just bumped into these guys. Look at the view in the distance, and a great little village far ahead. So on we track. And we're currently in Woodford, which actually is still in Cornwall. I think I misunderstood Mike when he was telling me where the border was between Devon and Cornwall. So I think we've got far to go now, but we're still in Cornwall. That's a funny little signpost. You can almost believe we'll be in Scotland. So just entering into a place called Shop, and I wonder if there is a shop here, and I wonder where the name came from. Intriguing. This has been quite a steep drop from 200 metres down to so far about 110, and I'm going to have to climb the same at the other side, as we can see. All good. So Christopher Cadbury bought up large pockets of land around here. It says it's bang on the border between Devon and Cornwall. Marsland Valley. Got a little drop there to 70 metres, and I think I'm going to start climbing very soon. Back up the other side. And literally just a stone's throw away from the last clip. It does look as though I've crossed over into Devon. Not much of a road though. That was a tough little climb, about 80 metres or so. It was pretty much straight up. And I think I hit the next village in just a short while. That's one of those signs just a moment ago when I left Gooseham, I think. So it was good enough for walking on. Let's see how this goes. Track wasn't too bad going down. Got to climb back up again now. Probably another 60, 70 metre climb, I guess. But it's been a beautiful little walk. It's a very roundabouty sort of way I've gone today, so I'm sort of clocking up the K's without making a huge amount of progress, and that's really slowing things down. So it's already gone 2:30, and I'm probably only halfway from Bude to Hartland. I do get the impression it speeds up a little bit more after this little section, but I need to just not muck around for too long and just keep moving. Amazing contour here, and just the whole view ahead. Unfortunately, it means I've got a bit of climbing. That's quite steep too. Climbs weren't too bad actually. I'm definitely getting trail fit. Haven't seen anybody for 45 minutes, an hour. Some really quiet country lanes. Not a single car. And made good progress in the last hour. Quite content, just plodding along. It's probably going to be a later finish than I'd hoped, after 5 o'clock probably, but hey, it's just a couple of spits of rain about an hour ago, and that stopped. It's nice and cool, perfect walking weather, no complaints. What a cool little place that would have been to stay. There's nobody in. Mind you, I want to push on to Hartland anyway, which is about 3 miles further. But this is in the middle of nowhere. What a cool little youth hostel. And the youth hostels have been such good value here in England. Keep coming across these cool little villages, just like a few houses each, in the middle of nowhere. So neat. No one around. Yay, just 1 mile to go. So within a mile now of Hartland. It's been a funny sort of day. I've really enjoyed it. We'll ramble through the Cornish and then more lately the Devon countryside. That's what this is all about. Bit of a late start, and then the middle third was a very tortuous and lots of ups and downs, very undulating. You know, lots of twists and turns, like a twisty turny thing. And you know, it sort of did slow me down. I suddenly realised about 2:30 that I was going to have to get my skates on. But looks like I'll get there before 5 to Hartland. I've just rung ahead and got some accommodation really cheap. That's a great thing about booking it last minute. And I've always got that flexibility now of a functional tent, which is pretty good. So let's turn the camera off and let's get in and find the accommodation. Just see Hartland coming into view now. Hardly passed any cars this afternoon. It's been wonderful. And here we are arriving at Hartland. And the accommodation is right on the correct edge of town. Didn't have to go all the way through the town this time. This is where I'm staying, and it's just after 10 to 5. Good result today. Good to get finished today, and a nice little room awaiting me when I got here. Within 10 minutes of arriving, it started raining outside. It's just stopped, so that's good, even though there's no forecasted rain today. So 27k today, same as yesterday. I forgot to mention yesterday's Ks. Good to get some Ks under the belt. And yeah, got here in reasonable time, even though it felt a bit sluggish midway through. I'm happy with the end result. Highlight of the day, it was a reasonable day. Chatting to the old hiker Mike was good. And low light of the day, no, not really. Wasn't anything wrong with today. Although feeling a little bit tired now, a little bit jaded. I can almost like feel a rest day knocking on the door saying, let me in, let me in. But we'll have to see what happens as far as that's concerned. The initial plan for tomorrow is to get to Bidford, hopefully via the coastal path. So let's see how that pans out. And that was day 11 from Lizard and day 8 from Land's End.